Welcome to the quiet edge of Long Island, where wide lawns, tall trees, and old money calm surround one of the most talked-about homes in American media. This is the private estate of Sean Hannity, a place built on family rituals, personal freedom, and the unmistakable confidence of a man who has shaped conservative conversation for decades. Today, you are stepping past the gate to see how he truly lives, the spaces he protects, the values he honors, and the lifestyle that fuels his voice every night. Before the dates and milestones take shape, the story begins with a quiet picture, a cold New York morning in 1961, the kind where the light falls softly across small houses in Franklin Square. Inside one of them, a boy named Sean Hannity was growing up in a world shaped by order, discipline, and the steady rhythm of working-class life. His mother kept long hours between the stenographer's desk and the county jail. His father served in family court, and Sean, the youngest of four, learned early that nothing in life moved unless you pushed it yourself. School never felt like the path. He tried New York University, UC Santa Barbara, and Adelphi, but the classrooms did not hold him. Instead, the real world did. The smell of paint, the feel of unfinished wood, the satisfaction of building something with his hands. At 20, he opened a small house painting business. When the work dried up, he took jobs as a contractor in California. Those years looked ordinary from the outside, but they carried the first truth of his adult life. If he wanted a future, he would have to carve it out of nothing. Then came the moment that changed everything. In 1989, he stepped behind a microphone at UC Santa Barbara's volunteer station. The room was small, the equipment old, but the silence before the first word felt electric. His voice was rough, unpolished, forceful, and it got him fired within a year after a heated segment on LGBT issues. Most people would have walked away. Sean drove east and doubled down. He took an afternoon slot at WVNN in Alabama, then a talk show job in Atlanta. Every move felt like starting over, but each city widened his reach, sharpened his instincts, and taught him how to command a room without ever being in it. By 1996, his voice carried far enough to catch the attention of Roger Ailes. Fox News handed him a national audience, and Hannity and Colmes introduced him to millions. Radio never left his hands. From late-night hours on WABC to the packed afternoon slot he held for 15 years, he learned the rhythm of America rushing home from work. When The Sean Hannity Show went into national syndication in 2001, everything accelerated. The show spread to more than 500 stations. His contracts grew into tens of millions. He built a reputation as one of the most powerful conservative voices in the country, a man whose commentary could shape conversation far beyond the studio walls. Television followed the same arc. Hannity's America on Sundays. Then Hannity, a nightly megaphone that still dominates its time slot. He wrote best-selling books, produced a Christian drama, and kept pushing into new territory, each success folding into the next. But the quiet documentary of his life, the thread running under every triumph and every controversy, is simpler. A boy from Franklin Square found a microphone, lost it, found another, fought his way back, and kept climbing until the fortune, the property, and the influence matched the years of stubborn work. And that is how he arrived at the life he lives today. The Long Island estate, the wide lawns, the rooms are built for family dinner and peace. Long Island Estate. Sean Hannity's Long Island Estate unfolds like a quiet chapter on the tranquil edges of Center Island, where tree-lined roads curve toward a waterfront retreat spanning nearly 6 acres. From afar, the stone and wood facade rises above sweeping lawns like a polished reinterpretation of the classic northeastern estate, elegant, grounded, and unmistakably private. Here, beneath sunsets drifting across Oyster Bay, Hannity shaped a home that mirrors the values he speaks about so often. Family, freedom, and the kind of quiet that belongs only to those who guard their personal world carefully. Past the main gate, a stone pathway leads toward the heart of the property, where the approximately 11,000 square foot residence opens into 7 bedrooms and 9 bathrooms. Inside, natural light is the defining feature. The living room and dining room both face the water, allowing the afternoon glow to sweep through the home in soft silver reflections. Dark wood floors, classic coastal furnishings, and a deep blue custom bar create an atmosphere that is both polished and warm. A place where long conversations, late work nights, and family gatherings have shaped the rhythm of daily life. Stepping outside, the home transforms into a full resort experience. A slate-lined pool stretches beside a broad veranda, where ocean breezes lightly disturb the water's surface. Close by, a tennis court offers a burst of energy beneath the trees, while a par-3 golf hole and putting green bring the feel of a private country club right into the backyard. Beyond the manicured grounds, a private dock extends more than 80 feet into Oyster Bay, a rare privilege that turns the estate into a gateway to open water. It is the kind of setting where mornings begin with salt air and evenings settle into stillness broken only by the tide. Inside and out, every space is shaped to balance luxury with seclusion, reflecting a lifestyle built on routine, discipline, and the desire to keep one part of life untouched by the public eye. The estate is not just grand, it is deeply intentional. A place where the architecture frames the landscape, and the landscape reinforces the calm. This is the Long Island sanctuary that defines Hannity's off-camera world, expansive, guarded, and quietly powerful. A retreat designed for a man who built his life in front of millions but chose to live his private moments by the water, surrounded by space, silence, and the freedom he values most. Yet the journey does not end on Long Island. It simply shifts latitude. Far to the south, another home waits, brighter, bolder, and set against the twin blues of the Atlantic and the intracoastal. Mansion in Manalapan. On a prized stretch of South Ocean Boulevard in Manalapan, a sliver of land where the Atlantic meets the intracoastal in a mirrored ribbon of blue, Sean Hannity's new $23,500,000 mansion rises with the confidence of a modern seaside fortress. Every line of the property reflects the taste of Palm Beach County's most exclusive enclave. Bold, geometric architecture, long sweeps of glass, and terraces layered like open-air lounges above the water. It is the kind of home that seems to exist in two worlds at once, one shaped by sunlight and ocean air, and another defined by privacy, security, and the quiet power of location. The moment you enter, the house opens in a long axis of marble, stone, and soft coastal tones. High ceilings carry the brightness from room to room, letting natural light spill over the polished floors. The main living area looks directly toward the intracoastal waterway, where boats drift by like moving brushstrokes. It is a space designed for calm evenings, wide sofas, artful lighting, and doors that slide back to create a seamless blend of indoor and outdoor living. The atmosphere is not loud or dramatic. It is controlled, measured, and unmistakably high-end. Further inside, the kitchen stands as a centerpiece of function and luxury. Custom cabinetry, professional-grade appliances, and a long waterfall island turn the room into a quiet hub for both cooking and conversation. Nearby, the dining room frames the water like a moving painting, a setting built for intimate gatherings rather than grand parties, the kind of dinners where a small group of trusted friends share stories without the presence of cameras or crowds. Upstairs, the primary suite takes advantage of the estate's rare geography, sweeping views of both the ocean and the intracoastal, uninterrupted from dawn to dusk. The room carries the calm of a private retreat, soft fabrics, pale colors, and sliding doors that open onto a balcony shaped by ocean wind. The bathroom mirrors a luxury spa, with sculpted stone, deep-soaking tubs, and windows positioned to capture the morning light without sacrificing privacy. But it is outside where the mansion truly declares its status. The pool is carved into the landscape as a long, reflective plain, bordered by palm trees and lounge areas that stretch toward the water's edge. A private dock extends into the intracoastal, making the home as much a marina as a residence, ideal for quiet morning rides or late afternoon escapes when the schedule finally opens. On the ocean side, private beach access turns the property into its own coastal sanctuary, where the sound of the surf becomes part of the architecture itself. Manalapan is known for its guarded seclusion, and this mansion follows the same philosophy. State-of-the-art security, controlled entry, and layered landscaping protect the estate from both noise and visibility. Yet the design remains open to the natural world. Sea breezes pass through the terraces, light shifts across the stone, and every hour of the day feels connected to the water. The home captures the exact lifestyle Hannity has leaned into in recent years. Quieter, more deliberate, wrapped in privacy, yet surrounded by beauty. It is not merely a Palm Beach area mansion. It is a refined statement of space, security, and coastal luxury on one of Florida's most coveted strips of sand and sea. From the calm of the Manalapan shoreline, we look to the cars that have accompanied him on the many roads he has traveled. Car collection. He keeps a Chevrolet Bel Air convertible 1957, the way some people keep a photograph, as something warm, familiar, and touched by memory. Its value today sits around $70,000, but what matters more is the feeling it gives him. Chrome catching the morning sun, a soft breeze moving through the cabin, and the quiet pride of steering an American classic along a coastal road. The yellow and white interior, bright as a postcard, reminds him of slow weekends, open streets, and the kind of freedom that does not need to be spoken. It simply lives in the space between the wheel and the sky, and his world shifts into something smoother and more modern with the Lexus LS 500. Current value, around $90,000. He chose it for the calm, the cabin wrapped in soft leather, the almost weightless steering, the way the car seemed to smooth out the world before he even reached it. It became the companion for workdays that stretched deep into the night, for drives home when he needed silence more than speed. Someone close often sat beside him on those quiet drives, and the smooth roll of the road made the cabin feel like a small, peaceful space where the long day could finally feel a little lighter. Each car carries its own meaning, and together they shape a life built on comfort and ease. From here, the story widens into the larger picture, the fortune he has built and the decisions that shaped it, income and net worth. His money story doesn't begin with millions. It begins with nothing more than a small volunteer radio slot in the late 1980s, a job that paid $0 but lit the fuse for everything that followed. From that quiet studio in California, the path slowly widened until it became one of the most profitable careers in American media, eventually building a net worth of $250 million. The first real jump came when Fox News hired him in 1996. What started as a debate show with Alan Colmes quickly became a prime-time anchor of the network. Today, his Fox News salary alone pays $25 million per year, the kind of contract that comes only after decades of ratings dominance. His radio work adds another $20 million each year thanks to a lucrative syndication deal signed in 2019, bringing his total annual income to roughly $40 million. Some years are even higher. From June 2018 to June 2019, he earned $45 million, and from June 2019 to June 2020, another $43 million. But television and radio are only the front door of his earnings. The quieter money, the money that builds empires, comes from real estate. Beginning in the early 2000s, he started buying heavily into housing markets across the country. Today, he controls a property portfolio valued at around $90 million, tied to a network of companies connected to nearly 900 homes in 7 states. Some are luxury residences, others are working-class rentals, and many were purchased out of foreclosure during 2013. In 2014, he acquired 2 large apartment complexes in Georgia for $22,700,000, turning monthly rents of $700 to $1,000 into stable, long-term cash flow. Book sales add another layer. Titles like Let Freedom Ring and Deliver Us from Evil became bestsellers, generating royalties that still trickle in. Then there are speaking events, limited advertising deals, and occasional production work. Secondary income streams that act like small tributaries feeding a much larger river. All this money shapes the way he lives, a pattern of waterfront estates, high-security properties, and homes designed for privacy as much as comfort. Over the years, he has owned a 10,600-square-foot mansion on Long Island, a $4,750,000 penthouse in Naples, a $5,300,000 Palm Beach condo, and a $23,500,000 waterfront estate in Manalapan. Each move reflects the same logic as his career, choosing places that give him space, control, and a sense of safety away from the cameras. And when you step back, the money trail tells a simple story. A man who started with no salary at all, built a media brand watched and heard by millions, turned broadcasting into investment power, and used that power to build a lifestyle defined by privacy, land, and long-term security. The financial foundation beneath the world he lives in today. And from the wealth he has built, we move into the ideals he supports, the help he chooses to give, and the way he shares his success. Philanthropy. One of his strongest commitments has been helping veterans. Coming from a family shaped by discipline and service, he has always felt a personal responsibility toward those who returned home with wounds that do not easily fade. Through partnerships with organizations like the Freedom Alliance, he has helped raise and donate more than $5 million for scholarships, housing support, and medical care. Emergency relief became another major focus. Whenever hurricanes hit Florida or the Gulf Coast, he moved quickly, matching donations on air and contributing directly. Over the years, he has sent more than $1,500,000 to disaster response groups like the Red Cross, Mercy Chefs, and local rebuilding funds. Education has always held a quiet place in his giving. That is why he has funded more than $1 million in school tuition support, classroom supplies, and after-school programs through local churches and community organizations. His charity also stretches into small, personal acts, paying off medical bills for families featured on radio segments, covering funeral costs for first responders, buying groceries for churches that feed the homeless. What his donations truly show is the character behind the career, steady, practical, and deeply human. To understand him more fully, we now step into the everyday moments that shape his private world. Personal life. These days, Sean Hannity lives a quieter, more settled life than the intensity of his on-air personality might suggest. His world has narrowed in a way that feels intentional. Fewer public appearances, more time spent in the spaces that bring him calm. After his divorce, he built a routine that gives him both privacy and structure, focusing on work during the day and stillness once the cameras turn off. Family remains the center of that stillness. His 2 children are adults now, each moving into their own paths, but he stays close to them. They visit often, especially on weekends, and those visits have become the highlight of his off-air life. He cooks simple meals, asks about their work, their plans, their worries. He is softer in those moments, not the fast-talking commentator, but a father who listens more than he speaks. Holidays are always private. Small dinners, long conversations, and early mornings spent walking along the water. His closest friends are a small circle, most of them people he has known for years. They are the ones he meets for early golf rounds, quiet dinners, or long phone calls after a heavy news day. He trusts them because they understand his world, but do not live inside it. Those friendships keep him grounded, giving him space to vent, to laugh, and to exist without the weight of politics. A typical day now starts early. He wakes before sunrise, steps outside for a breath of cool air, and spends a few quiet minutes watching the sky shift from gray to soft gold. That calm beginning gives him the focus he needs before heading into hours of radio work, meetings, research, and the nightly show. When the day ends, he rarely seeks noise or crowds. Instead, he slips into quiet drives, unhurried walks along the water, or simple evenings spent reading to clear his mind. He has returned to boating as well, not for long adventures, but for steady rides along the coast, where the wind and engine hum wash the day away and remind him why he protects his peaceful moments so carefully. Travel has become more personal too. Instead of political events or tours, he takes short escapes to Florida, where the warmer air and slower pace help him reset. Friends join him sometimes, but many trips are solo, a chance to think without interruption. He enjoys wandering along marinas, visiting small restaurants, and finding quiet corners where he can stay anonymous. Religion still plays a role in his life, though on his own terms. Leaving the Catholic Church was a difficult decision for him, but he continues to pray, read scripture, and stay involved in local Christian communities. Faith is something he keeps private, not a performance, but a practice that steadies him. Together, these pieces of his life create the portrait of a man who balances public intensity with private calm, someone who guards his quiet moments just as carefully as he commands the airwaves. Behind the debates and headlines, his real world is shaped by family, routine, and a steady search for peace. If this look into Sean Hannity's life resonated with you, feel free to comment, like the video, and subscribe for more. Many stories, many homes, and many lives await, and we're excited to share the next one with you.